to understand is that most sicknesses we have come from what we eat. So what we are saying, correct the diet and you will correct the problems you're having. If it can kill the insect, it will kill you. It will take a longer time, but it will kill you. Keep sugar out of your diet, you're 50% better off. Sugar is worse than cocaine. It's the worst thing we have in our house. Consider the cost of cancer. There is no price too expensive to pay for something that's going to prevent you from going that road.
That's true.
In other words, you're adding years to your life and life to your years. You're enjoying every year. What do you use of having 70 years and 30 of them were sick? You want healthy life, healthy days. Bless you.
In Office with Dr. Jevon Samuels.
Welcome to another episode of In Office. I am Dr. Jevon Samuels. In Office is a program which we talk about life, sickness and death, and today's topic will be all about healthy lifestyle. And with me in office today is Mr. Kermit Tucker. Mr. Tucker is actually also a lifestyle consultant, and we are going to be discussing healthy lifestyle and in particular organic foods. In general, healthy lifestyle includes persons having a balanced diet, and a balanced diet normally involves persons eating plenty fruits and vegetables, and also different foods from the different food groups, such as the starch, the legumes, a little meat from animal, etc. But in general, a diet which is high in fruits and vegetables is normally a healthy diet. In addition to the dietary needs, also advise that you have a regular routine exercise. You should decrease the amount of stress that you have in your life. So if you can go on leisure activities to relax and decrease the stress levels, that will help. Also to quit smoking, definitely. And in general, with these implementation, we should be able to live a healthier life. And Mr. Kent here today is a lifestyle consultant, as I said before, and it's just fitting that we have a discussion with Mr. Tucker so that we can get a better understanding of what the whole lifestyle, healthy lifestyle is about. Welcome once more, Mr. Tucker.
Thank you very much, Jevon. It's a privilege to be on the program, and this is a great program for people who will listen and with people who will do something with the information that they get. They said knowledge is potential power, but putting it in practice is where the power comes from. So when we talk about healthy lifestyle and eating properly, we very often say, if it's from the plant, eat it. If it's made in a plant, don't. So you want to gravitate to what is natural and what will guarantee you sustainable health and development.
Okay, so first question is, what had prompted you to start the organic diet? Because you basically eat only organic produce, so no fertilizers, no pesticides go on your produce. All right. Yeah. What was the initial reason for starting this healthy diet?
Well, my one, that goes back many years ago when we grew a family of 4, yes. 3 girls and 1 boy. And our first responsibility was to keep the family healthy. As you know, doctor bill is very expensive.
Okay.
So if you can do things to keep your family healthy, that's it. So we started growing things around the house, specifically to help us to live a healthier life. And we were very successful with that. Then we developed this and we started sharing it with our friends. And I would very often take a box or 2 and give to my friends. So we go in organic boxes, containers, so we can move them around. We take it to them and say, well, you take this, eat it every day, you're going to be better off. But they never got what they should from it because they never treated it well. And then one said to me one day, Kermit, why don't you bring a few to church? And I packed 10 the first Sunday and everybody bought it. The next Sunday I did 20. The next Sunday I did 40, and that's just how it goes. Today we're packing like between 200-300 boxes every week, and our products are available in leading supermarkets in Kingston.
Okay. Now, in terms of the nutritional content, did some research before I came here, and like from a scientific standpoint, they're saying that the organic produce, it's in terms of the nutritional contents, it's very similar to the conventional produce. Its only difference is really the levels of the pesticides that is on the produce, which they are saying that if it's washed properly, you can reduce that pesticide level to safe limits. What's your take on that?
You can wash to some level and get rid of some of the things that should not be there. But we need to understand these things are syndemic. They are in the nature of the product you have. So if you're growing them with insecticide, you can't wash it off. You definitely can't. You wash it off to give your mind a peace of mind that what you have done is right. But no, you see what is happening is that the Agricultural Department of the United States, they have a data on products that have been grown and the nutritional level. And about 20 years ago, they took back produce to the archives and they pull up the information, the data on these products that were grown long ago against the ones that are now coming in. The ones that are now coming in are bigger and prettier and look fresher and all the rest of it. But when you check the nutritional level, the difference is about 30%. Why? Because the things are grown on depleted soil. There are insecticides and pesticides, and let's just remember, Doc, that if it can kill the insect, it will kill you. It will take a longer time, but it will kill you. But apart from the killing you, that is not the problem. What we're talking about is adding years to your life while adding life to your years.
Okay.
So you have a healthy lifestyle that is taking you through this process where you are enjoying a better quality of life from day to day.
Okay. So how many years now have you been eating strictly organic food?
I would say about 12 years.
12 years. Okay. So it's recent then, right?
We're talking about more like a certified organic farm, but we have always been eating organic food all of our life. It was never certified as such.
Okay.
But now we are certified growers, so we have a protocol that we must follow. The Bureau of Standard have certified us as organic growers. So apart from the fact we can't use insecticides and pesticides and all the rest of it, they audit us every year to ensure that we are following the protocols and that we are producing that which is going to be good for society.
Okay. So in terms of your health now, because this is really a health-based program. So in terms of over the years that you have been eating organic foods, you find out that your health, do you have any chronic non-communicable disease such as diabetes, hypertension?
That's an excellent question. I'm 79 years old and I have none of the hypertension, the diabetes, the macular degeneration, the cataract. I don't have any of those debilitating conditions. Why? And my wife the same. My wife is 1 year younger than I am, and we don't have any of those situations. Why? Because we lead a lifestyle that takes our health from our medicine from our food and our food from our medicine. That's what we do.
Okay. And so in terms of but you still get regular medical checkup though, because sometimes you might feel healthy but you have to do your blood work, probably a colonoscopy, your prostate examination and blood tests, etc.
We make it, at least I do, as a matter of course,
yes,
to do an executive profile every single year. Every single year I do that, just to ensure that what I think is matching up with what the facts are.
Okay, so you have objective stuff to base your dietary,
of course,
beliefs on. All right, so it's not just a mindset. You feel young in your body and you're still able to go and work on the farm just the same, or just sit and supervise or exercise as well?
I do yoga like about 4 days a week and keep very well. I have a good diet, and I'm not a vegetarian, lest you think so. I'm not a vegetarian. I have quite a balanced diet. While 70 to 80% of our diet is from vegetable, we're not vegetarian. We're not vegetarian from that standpoint. We do eat different things from time to time, but what we ensure is that we're eating is coming from a good source. For argument's sake, your chicken, if it is being grown where it is being cooked and being fed with food that have a lot of chemical in it, then you're going to have it. So what you want to do is to see if you can find things that are not exposed to these things, like your beef and your cattle and your eggs and your milk. Well, we don't even use milk here. We don't, and we very little sugar.
Okay.
Because if you can keep sugar out of your diet, you're 50% better off. Sugar is worse than cocaine. It's the worst thing we have in our house. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm glad you mentioned the point about eating meat as well. And you say you check your sources and they are actually from organically certified animal farm.
Or zero grade, where you have zero of additive from bad food and all the rest of it. You want to get cattle that are grazing, they are taking natural grass, and this is help.
Okay. Now, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the whole organic food should not include any genetically modified food.
Yeah, that's our philosophy. We shouldn't.
But I believe the chickens that we eat that is in the supermarket now, they are genetically modified chicken.
That's why you need to see if you can find a source that you can get that will not include that. You see, Doc, what we need to understand, that once we go the route of organic, we are first of all protecting our environment. What we're doing is ensuring that I can leave this piece of property to my son and my grandchildren, and that it will be of value to them. If we continue to pour insecticides and pesticides in it, then it is diminishing the value of what you have. So it's good for the planet, it's good for our people, healthier people. It connects with that between lifestyle of the human being and agriculture. They ought to be in symmetry with each other, and that's what we do. So it's good for the universe, it's good for the planet, it's good for our people, and it's good for our product. Okay, the product you eat is going to depend on how healthy you are, and of course, a good peace of mind. You have to work at taking away the stress and things from your life so that you are enjoying a good state of mind.
Issues affording the conventional vegetables, especially when they are not in season, right? And the organic produce are normally a little bit more expensive, sometimes the 30-40% more expensive than conventional vegetables. What type of strategy do you think we can implement to let these produce be a little cheaper or actually similar price to the conventional produce?
Very good question, Doc. What we're saying, the best vegetable you can eat is the one you grow yourself. So what we do, we have monthly class, how to establish your own urban farm. And here we're teaching people how to establish their own organic home garden right at where they live. And people are saying they don't have any space to grow. We show you how you can grow with limited space. And once you do that, you are growing some of the things and you're cutting down on the cost. But the other side of it, and you don't want to miss this, have you considered the cost of cancer? If you consider the cost of cancer, there is no price too expensive to pay for something that's going to prevent you from going that road. Yeah?
Sure.
Yeah, that's what it is. With one bout of sickness and wipe out your entire saving account, completely obliterated it. And if you had done what was right with the right foods, you could have avoided that. So when people talk about cost of organic versus the non-organic, I say, have you contemplated the cost of cancer recently?
Okay, so if you counteract the cost, it's good counteraction. I must applaud you for counteracting the cost issue. Now, my next question gonna be is like, how practical is it to feed the entire world and organic produce only. Because one of the main reason why the pesticides and the fertilizers became so prominent is the yield that we get from the fertilizer grown produce, which can actually feed the entire world. And it's because the population have really outgrown what we can produce quickly from the natural source. Because let me add something here. Because even Pakistan is a country that has banned fertilizer, and actually the agricultural sector there actually went down because of the low yields that they were getting without the fertilizer. What's your take on that point?
Well, I think it's more greed than what yield they're getting. Everybody wants to make super profit, and even to make it at the expense of your health. And I believe that's where the problem is. I believe once we can get everybody to understand the only way you're going to be able to guarantee your lifestyle is to start growing something for yourself. And I don't care what the situation is at your house or your yard, you can grow something. Only those who learn to plant will eat. That's what is happening. And more so will eat healthily. Because there's almost like a plan to wipe out farmers who are talking about organic, because they see this as affecting their profit margin. Okay. But we see this as a way of staying healthy and leading a better life.
And sustainable as well.
Yeah.
Since, some persons, we know you said they can afford, but say for example the person cannot afford to attend one of your classes, all right, or to attend your classes frequently to learn about organic farming. Would you mind sharing some tips with my audience about how you prepare the soil, the water that you use to water the plants and stuff like that, if you don't mind?
Well, you need to come to the class. That's my first recommendation. Because a lot of the things they think is so difficult, it's actually easier than not doing it. And we take, for argument's sake, the soil. To be organic, we have to ensure that you had no pesticides or insecticide in your field for at least 3 years. So it is completely void of those things. So once you do that, we're now talking about sustainable development. A lot of us have a lot of things around our house and our yard that we just throw away. We dump things, we burn things, we throw away things, which need to go right back in the cycle of making important choices where our health is concerned. How many of us have lawns? Yeah, we have lawns, and when we cut, what we do with the grass? We burn it or we dump it. That grass is very, very good source of putting back nitrate to your soil. So you want the nitrogen fixers. That is one thing you can use. I to share with my class, as I will in another few days. Most of us eat bananas. When we eat the bananas, what we do with the skin? We dump it. If we ever know how much fertilizer that can be made from ripe banana peel, we wouldn't do that. And a lot of us eat eggs. And when we eat eggs, we just throw away the shell. The shell is a great source of calcium that we use in organic farming. We plant a lot of legume, things like string beans and gungo and that thing, that actually work to pull back nitrogen to the soil. They're great nitrogen fixers. And I could go on. Coffee ground. A lot of us love a nice cup of coffee. But guess what? We never thought of using back the coffee ground to put back in your soil, which is a great way to increase your produce. And I could go on and on and on. That was an example of the things that you can do. So what we do at the class is to show you how to use these things and not to go out looking for answers when you have the answers right in your backyard.
Okay, but even if some persons don't use the fertilizer, the water source that they use for irrigation actually having chemicals, chlorine that they use to keep the water pure.
Yes, and we realize that. That's why we do here water harvesting. one whole part of my roof is just collecting water that we use to water our plants. But you can also get around this if you have just a small thing on your veranda or backyard. You can catch your water overnight, over 24 hours, the chlorine dissipate, and you'll have a water that will be good for your plants. So there's a way around all the problem that we seem to create in our head, and we'll show you how to do that.
Okay. Alright, so at the end of the session, I'll give you like a minute or two to advertise the class, right? Because this program will normally include a little advertising for the guests if they have a business or if they're in need, alright? But now, in terms of the lifestyle consultants, what are some of the issues person normally would approach you for lifestyle consultancy with?
I think what we need to understand is that most sicknesses we have come from what we eat. So what we are saying, correct the diet and you will correct the problems you're having. So you go to the doctor and the doctor gives you something that it will take care of, synthetic, that will help. But you haven't changed your diet. So you keep coming back to the doctor until you have changed your diet. So what we're talking about is change your lifestyle and it will change your health. There's no maybe about it. We have proven this to be so. You can put diabetes in remission if you will do the right thing. Okay? So what we're talking about is find out what food carries the nutrient you need, and we show you how to use that to get the result you want.
Okay, so for example, somebody is morbidly obese, BMI like above 40. You normally have those clients as well?
Yeah, we do. And what we need to understand, I wish I had a board I could do a graph to show you.
We can just speak, so if you visualize it.
If you take the blood, if you take the chart that shows you where your blood should be, it actually show you if you keep your blood within that zone, we did not get in hypo, that the body will be forced to burn the fat that you have stored. What we need to understand, the body knows the best way to store energy is in the fat cell. So when you take a breakfast that is laden with a lot of simple sugar, a lot of carbo, it pushes it up into hypo, and it appeals to the pancreas to send some insulin in to clear it, and it sends it in and it clears it to the acceptable level. But because of panic attack, it very often goes into hypo, and which is also dangerous. And it dumps that fat over in a place called fat storage. And the body will continue to get bigger to accommodate any amount of fat you store at it. So what we want to do is to lock down that fat storage by eating only what the body will need to fuel itself during the day. If your car is full with gas, you don't go to the gas station and say, fill me up again. No. You want to find a way to burn that fat. So what we do is you don't burn that, and when it wants some more energy, it go to fat storage, and it pulls from there and it go to fat burning. So it's a simple matter of losing weight. But I've found that most persons with that weight problem are just indisciplined.
Okay.
Yeah, they sit down before a meal and they know it's not good for them, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. Right now it's satisfaction.
Okay.
Yeah, a lifestyle. They're just purely indisciplined.
Right. So for example, some persons that mainly love fatty food, fast food and meat, and they're not really the greens type of person. They don't like the taste, they don't have any appetite for the vegetables. What type of advice would you give them?
I say, just remember how the world is made. Very good analogy. The world is 70% water and 30% land. That's not funny. Do you know that your body is also 70% water and 30% solid? So when you sit down to put food on your plate, think of that. Have 70% water content food on your plate, and the rest in solids, okay? And then you're feeding the body the way it is made, and you're going to have less of a problem with dealing with the weight issue.
Okay, so but what about taste? How can you make like vegetable stuff more tasty and meat tasting like it's not possible?
We have 365 taste buds from the tip of our tongue to our palate. And that will get used to eating anything. If you get yourself out of the poor habit that it must have this amount of sugar, it must have this amount of salt, and you start culturing your taste bud, you're going to be able to find that you can enjoy most things very, very well. Yeah? And you can make the vegetables very, very life tasting. If you go to organic stuff, you'll find that they taste better. They last longer in the fridge. They are so much better for you. So there's a way to get around the taste issue if you're really serious about changing things.
Okay. So I understand here that you do herbs and
lettuces and herbs.
Herbs.
Yeah.
You're also making some other like honey.
Honey. We do lettuces and herbs, and we do honey, and we call it an organic honey because we don't feed our bee antibiotic. We use natural means to deal with that, and we are also doing other things. We package spinach, and we do our home garden class, which is where we encourage people to come. We also do what is called a farm to plate experience, where we put together a 6-course meal with wine pairing, because on this property we also make 4 wines. We have a banana port, or banana sherry, or apple blush, and our jamun berry. And these are excellent wines, and we've fixed the meal so that they can be paired very well with it. And you spend a great evening with friends and family, and you eat healthily. You leave not feeling bloated, and neither are you feeling sick the next morning, because you have had everything going that's good for you.
Okay, all right, thank you. Now I want to backtrack a little. I know we had discussed the soil content to replace the fertilizer, but we also have what I didn't really mention, how you replace the insecticide aspect of it. Because if, for example, I'm there in the garden and I'm farming cabbage or whatever, and insects are eating it, how do you solve that problem with the organic farm, if you don't mind sharing?
Well, let's take slugs for argument's sake. There are a number of things that I've mentioned already. You could use for your slug, like the eggshells.
Eggshells.
You could just mill that up and put it around your plant. When they walk on it, they cut the apron and it drains them to death. Okay? You can use that. But in addition to that, if you have a small farm, you can go out and pick them off in the night. Yeah? A great way to do it. Like now the moon's nice and bright and pretty. They come out with their knife and fork and they have a great time eating. But you can also see how you water your stuff. If you water your stuff in the evening, it is encouraging the slugs to come out, to have a field day. So you want to water morning and not evening. Okay? And you can use other things that you can use to deter them as much as you can. Anything like a little cornmeal, a little salt, help, and garlic, the way to mix it so you can spray and it will keep them away. And one of the things we learn in organic farming is what we call intercropping. Intercropping means I'm planting between my things that I want, things that will attract the kind of predators that will protect what I want, and also will run away those that I don't need. So that's what is called companion planting. And very often our things like our scallion, our leek, our chives, our rosemary are things that are marigold are things that really will keep away some insects from you. So you want to learn all of these things. And all of these things are not new. Some of them, they're right on your you can Google them and you can get a lot of help. You can call us and we will give you whatever help we can at a distance and at a no charge.
Okay, good. All right, so we're coming to the end of the session, and any final word for the viewers, so we can just have a summary?
The final word for the viewer is this. You see, living healthy is a decision. It's a decision you take that I'm going to change my lifestyle come what may. And if you make a decision, you'll stick by it. I've been married to the same woman for 57 years because I've taken a decision that I'm going to be married to her for life. So it's a decision, come hell or high water, I'm going to stay healthy. So once you take that decision, then you start looking at what you need to do to stay healthy. And I'll tell you a few things that people can do very well to stay healthy, and I speak to myself with this one, is to ensure that we drink water. We don't have enough of this water. Water is the best weight management thing you have, because a lot of us eat when we are thirsty instead of quenching the thirst. So we need to remember that. And another thing is sleep. We need to get adequate sleep. And we need to cut out the late night eating. You want to go to bed, you sit before your television with a bowl before you and you're eating. And so what you have done is you go to bed with a lot in your stomach, and your digestive organs is so busy trying to digest, and it also bother your sleep. So again, you can do these things. Simple, water, to sleep, that will do a lot for you to look better and to enjoy the next day.
Okay, thank you. So just a minute or two just to advertise the classes that you have and when you keep them, etc. All right, the contact information, etc. What do you do?
A home garden class every month. We're doing 2 this month because we're not doing any for the rest of the year. So the 23rd, which is this 23rd here, Saturday and Sunday, we're doing 2 classes. And in the class, we take all the areas from that farm tour into a lecture on why organic, some of the things we're talking about this morning. And then we get your hand in the sun where we actually sow seeds. And you leave with your own seed tray of things which we hope that you'll be able to get to where you are enjoying it. Okay? So the classes are extremely good. You can call us on the class 892-7820. That's 892-7820. Just call and ask for Kermit Tucker. We'll be only too happy to have you listed and be trained.
Okay. All right, viewers, remember, in office program which we talk about life, sickness, and death, and today's topic was healthy lifestyle, and this information was well packaged today. I must admit that Mr. Tucker did a very good job enlightening us on the ways in which we should eat and live a healthy life to prevent sickness and to delay death. I must say delay death. All right, so to prevent sickness and delay death. All right, so remember to
healthy lifestyle. In other words, you're adding years to your life, and life to your years. You're enjoying every year. What do you use of having 70 years and 30 of them were sick? You want healthy life, healthy days. Bless you.
Okay, viewers, remember to like and share this video for more informative medical content and healthy life, sickness, and death. Thanks very much for tuning in with us today. God bless.
Be sure to subscribe for more informative content on life, sickness, and death.